Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Strong. My mission is to help as many people as possible overcome their chronic health conditions through education. And that's why I have this channel. That's why I have a clinic here in Florida. And the reason I make these videos is to help you understand what's going on with your body so that you can take action and, get past where doctors just tell you, here's just a medication, or learn to live with it, because that's what all my patients tell me. And I've got a different format that I'm using for my video, so thank you so much for your support if you're a subscriber. But I'm trying to put these in a PDF for you guys so that if you like them, then you can download them. And we've got action steps at the end of every video so that you yourself can, if there's a video that you like, you can actually do the things that I'm doing. And so today we're going to talk about apple cider vinegar because that is a big topic and a lot of people have questions about it. So here's the experiment that I did. I drank apple cider vinegar for 30 days, and I think you'll be interested with what's called the dark side down here that I wrote. As you can see, here's our outline. So I'm going to break this down for you by the week, what my results were, what I actually found at the end of this that is a little bit surprising, and what I would do differently, and how to optimize this for the best results. So I drank apple cider vinegar every day for 30 days, and what happened to my body was pretty interesting, and changes that I really didn't expect, some amazing, but some of them that I, maybe didn't think about completely about how apple cider vinegar can affect you. And so that's why I've documented this, and I want to share my results with you. So with this, like I said, here's my intro. If you're new here and you like these videos, if you could like and subscribe, it helps me to grow my channel. I'm trying to get to 10,000. We're almost at 9,500 right now, so thank you so much for your support. But here is the experiment setup. For 30 days straight, I drank 2 tablespoons of raw unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother mixed in 8 ounces of water. So 15 minutes before my largest meal of the day. What I tracked was I tracked daily body weight, body measurements, blood sugar levels, and continuous glucose monitor, as you can see here. Complete blood panel before and after. I'm actually going to exclude this because I don't think that everything on there was accurate, but it did improve. Energy levels on a scale of 1 to 10, digestive symptoms, sleep quality, and any side effects or changes. So I kept everything the exact same diet, same exercise routine, same supplements. The only variable that I added in was this apple cider vinegar. Now I know that there are many other variables that go along with this, like stress, but it was the biggest variable as far as, something new that I added to my routine. So the first week results, day 1 through 3, honestly, it was a little rough. The taste was awful, even diluted. It has that strong acidic taste. And I felt nauseous about 10 minutes after drinking it and had some stomach burning. My energy was actually lower than normal. So, I actually had, side effects from it on the first couple of days. But then after days 4 through 5, something shifted. The nausea stopped, and I noticed I wasn't as hungry at my next meal. And I found this kind of interesting. And then days 6 through 7 is where it got really exciting. My continuous glucose monitor showed something incredible, and that was that my post-meal blood sugar spikes were 20 to 30 points lower than my baseline. My usual spike was to 140 milligrams after, eating like a pasta or something. And now I don't normally eat pastas and breads, but I did it in order to check and see what food spiked my blood sugar. And after that, it was only hitting around 115. So after week 1, what I found from measuring the data was that I lost 2.3 pounds, probably somewhere around water weight, probably wasn't fat. My energy, I would rate a 6 out of 10, down from my usual 7 out of 10. Just being a business owner, I'm never at 100%, but I try to do my best to keep, going as much as I can. Digestion, some stomach irritation initially, but that subsided. And then blood sugar significantly improved my post-meal spike. So, even though my energy wasn't better, my blood sugars were showing, that they were improving. And then sleep, really no change. And then the blood sugar results alone made me want to continue, because I'm a huge advocate, especially treating so many diabetics, that we need to control the blood sugars, because I see it elevated in so many of these chronic conditions. Now, week 2 results. Week 2 was when the magic really started happening. My appetite started to be suppressed. I'm talking about genuine appetite suppression, not feeling sick. So I naturally started eating smaller portions without trying, and my energy levels rebounded and actually improved beyond baseline. So I was averaging an 8 out of 10 daily, and I felt more stable throughout the day, no afternoon crashes. But here's what really surprised me, was that my chronic morning stiffness in my low back, because I used to do a lot of back squats, that disappeared. And I'd had this for years doing CrossFit, bodybuilding, and I wake up every morning feeling like I need to stretch, kind of move, or like it's hard to move. And then by day 10, I was waking up feeling loose and mobile. So at the end of week 2, I was down 4.1 pounds total. My energy was 8 out of 10, best I've felt in several months. My appetite was less, joint stiffness completely gone in my back, and my digestion, my stomach adapted, still no irritation. And then my sleep was slightly improved, because I think my back wasn't hurting and I wasn't shifting as much throughout night. So I was becoming a believer, but I wanted to see the full 30 days. So in week 3, brought some unexpected changes. My skin started to look a little different. People were commenting that I looked refreshed, or asking if I was using new skincare products. My complexion was clear, and I had this subtle glow, you could say. So my digestion improved dramatically. I've always had some bloating after meals, especially with if I eat, kind of off my regular diet, off my regular Mediterranean diet that I follow. But with that completely disappeared, even if I kind of varied off of it. My bowel movements became more regular and more formed. I'd had some problems with some loose stools, but after this, it seemed like my digestion system was holding everything together a lot better. I'm sorry if that's too TMI. But here's what got concerning, is that I started getting little headaches around day 18 and 19. Not severe, but noticeable. And I also felt slightly lightheaded if I stood up too quickly. And I attributed this to maybe low blood sugar causing that issue. But after doing some research, I realized that this could be from the acetic acid affecting my electrolyte imbalance, or potentially lowering my blood pressure too much. So this is something that you need to be careful about, especially if you're doing this on a regular basis, is that you want to be aware that your electrolytes are in check, which I have at the end of this as far as my checklist goes. Week 3, down 5.8 pounds, still 8 out of 10 with energy, but with occasional dips. Skin was better, digestion was really good. Side effects though were mild headaches and occasional lightheadedness. And then blood pressure, I started monitoring this daily, just to check and see when that was dropping low. And then my week 4 results, the final week, revealed the most important findings. My blood pressure had indeed dropped. I went from my normal 125/80 to 110/70. For most people, this would be great, but combined with headaches, I was concerned about it going too low. So the weight loss plateaued at about 6.2 pounds, which I'm fine with because I'm not really overweight. But my body composition had changed. I lost fat around my midsection while maintaining muscle mass. So, which is very important for me, just from an aesthetic look, but also from a functional look as well. So the next thing is that, and then like I said, I didn't want to do the blood work. And then the week 4 summary, I stabilized at 6.2 pounds lost. I had a consistent energy of 8 out of 10. I dropped, my blood pressure dropped significantly, I would say, which is significant for me. Cravings were eliminated. Overall feeling best I felt in years, but like I said, concerned about the blood pressure. So the science behind the results. So why did the apple cider vinegar change these things? And this is what I was trying to understand. So in my blood sugar control, the acetic acid slows gastric emptying and improves insulin sensitivity. It literally slows down how fast food leaves your stomach. And so with that, it prevents blood sugar spikes. And then with the weight loss, the apple cider vinegar increases satiety hormones, which are like your leptin and ghrelin, and may boost fat oxidation. The appetite suppression I experience is well documented in research as far as apple cider vinegar goes. The anti-inflammatory effects of acetic acid is shown to reduce inflammatory markers, which explains the improvement in joint stiffness and blood work. Digestive benefits: apple cider vinegar can increase stomach acid and production and support beneficial gut bacteria. So if you're struggling with SIBO or leaky gut, it's something good to add in. And then the electrolyte issue: long-term apple cider vinegar can affect mineral absorption and electrolyte imbalance. So this is something, especially here in Florida, when it's so hot and sweating, you have to be very careful. And this is why I experienced headaches and blood pressure changes. The neat thing about the skin improvements is that better blood sugar control and reduced inflammation often show up in the skin first. This is what I see all the time with diabetics. They have dry, flaky skin. Their skin, is real ashy, and that's mainly because they're not getting very good blood flow. Now, the most interesting part of this is the dark side, what they don't tell you. Here's what the apple cider vinegar enthusiasts don't want you to know, is that tooth enamel damage is a real thing. Even diluted, the acid can erode the tooth enamel over time. So this is why maybe instead of doing it every day, you want to do it a couple times a week. So I started using a straw and rinsing with water immediately after to make sure that it gets off. The electrolyte balances: long-term use can deplete potassium and other minerals. And then blood pressure interactions: if you're not on blood pressure medications, apple cider vinegar can cause dangerous drops in blood pressure. So you definitely want to be careful about that and consult your doctor. Digestive issues: some people develop chronic stomach irritation or acid reflux. You have to be very careful about this, especially if you have H. pylori, suspect you have H. pylori, it can cause those issues. Apple cider vinegar can affect how your body absorbs certain medications, especially diabetes drugs. So, and again, talk to your doctor. And then I know a lot of people use it for weight loss and appetite suppressant, but it's not a magic bullet. The weight loss and health benefits require consistent use and don't work for everyone. So even though I did see some results with it, don't think that it may work for you. You may need to do something a little bit different. So here's my final verdict. After 30 days, here's my honest assessment. The good is that significant blood sugar improvements, real appetite suppression, weight loss, reduced inflammation, better digestion, and improved energy levels. My biggest concerns with this were the electrolyte imbalances, the potential for tooth enamel damage, and then blood pressure effects. And then I feel like it's not sustainable without long-term monitoring. So if you are using this long-term, and you're having some of these issues, you may want to look into that. So my recommendation: apple cider vinegar can be a powerful tool, but it's not for everyone and shouldn't be used blindly. If you want to try it, start with 1 tablespoon, not 2 like I did. Always dilute in at least 8 ounces of water. Use a straw to protect your teeth. Monitor your blood pressure even if you don't have any cardiovascular issues. Consider cycling 30 days on, 30 days off. I will probably maybe just do it like 3 days a week and kind of spread those out. Get blood work if you're going to be using it long term. I don't think that it was really enough data. I think you probably need 90 days to see better results with blood testing. And then stop immediately if you experience persistent headaches or dizziness. So would I do this experiment again? I would, but like I said, I would make modifications. I would definitely cycle it and then monitor my electrolytes, maybe add something in more closely. And then, like I said, I would do 1 tablespoon a day. So if you're dealing with blood sugar issues, stubborn weight, chronic inflammation, the back was the most amazing thing. It might be worth trying, but do it smart. Use this video as a guide. And so what surprised you most about these test results? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've tried this, what was your experience with it? Do you use it daily? I'm kind of curious what everybody else is doing. And so remember, there's no magic bullet out there for health, but there are things that we can start supplementing into our daily lifestyle in order to give us optimal health. So If you found this video helpful, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, like this video if you found it helpful. And I really would like feedback if you like these videos, and if you find that getting a PDF of these would be helpful, or if you just feel like I can go back and watch the video, it's not a big issue. So